guys, today we will be discussing the skeletal system. This presentation is by Sai Prithvinath Vandanapu. A little about me. My name is Sai and I go to Elizabeth Lane Elementary School and I am in 5th grade. And people love to call me as Sai. These are all the points we are going to discuss today. Some of the points I am going to highlight are: what are the living cells that are inside the bones, what are the layers of the bones, what are the 22 bones that are in your skull, and what are the 5 categories of your backbone. What is the job of the skeletal system, or known as the skeleton? Well, the first job is it holds your body up. Say that you were walking on the sidewalk. Without the skeleton, you would just be a jellyfish lying around on the sidewalk. The skeleton also makes up your body. What do I mean by this? I mean that without the flesh or the muscles or the organs, the skeleton would be still standing there, which means it makes up your body. The skeleton also protects softer parts in the body, such as organs, liver, pancreas, digestive organs, stomach, and etc. Also manufactures blood. What do I mean by this? Okay, I want you to take a hold on this, and we will be talking about this in the following slides. The skeletal system also stores nutrients. In the previous video, I have talked about the digestive system. After the liver categorizes the nutrients in proteins, fats, it sends them to the bones where they use it as energy. By the way, in the description below, I have provided the link to my previous video. If you want to watch it, if you want to learn about the digestive system, be sure to watch it. What are the living cells that are inside the bones? So, the 3 we are going to talk about today are osteoblasts, osteoclasts, osteocytes. As you can see here, I have provided photos of these 3 cells. Here is the osteoblast, osteoclast, and the osteocytes. What are the jobs of these cells? The osteoblasts are cells that create new bone material and repair the damaged bone material. Osteoclasts are cells that remove old bone material. Osteocytes are formed from the osteoblasts. These 3 cells work together to create blood vessels from the bones. What are the layers of the bone? The 4 we are going to talk about are periosteum, compact bone, cancellous bone, bone marrow. My friends, the bone is not one layer, it is multi-layered, and each layer has a very specific functionality. Now, I'm going to tell you a little about each layer. The periosteum is a very thin membrane that contains blood vessels and nerves. You see, in this picture, it shows some green lines and blue lines. These are all nerves and blood vessels. The compact bone is the very next layer of the bone that is very smooth in texture, and it is hard outer part of the bone. As you see, this is the compact bone. Now, what is the cancellous bone? The cancellous bone is the inner layer, and it looks like a sponge and feels like a sponge. You see this layer, it has holes in it. That right there, my friend, is the cancellous bone. Then we have our bone marrow right here. The bone marrow is the manufacturer of blood cells. Remember I was talking about previously that we are going to talk about who is the manufacturer. My friends, the bone marrow is the manufacturer of blood cells in our bones. What are the 4 basic types of bones? The 4 types of bones we are going to discuss today are long bones, short bones, flat bones, irregular bones. In this picture above, there is the long bone, short bone, and the irregular bone, and the flat bone. As you can see here, the human body is made up of many kinds of bones, and these are the 4 many types the human body's bones are distributed into. Now I will give a clear description of what each bone looks like and feels like. Long bones have a very long shaft, as you can see here, and short bones have a cubical shape like this one, and flat bones have a very thin, flat and slightly curved shape. Now, irregular bones have unusual shapes. Well, look at this bone right here. Does it look familiar? No, it's like a baby scribbling on paper, right? Those bones are in our body right now. What are the 22 bones in your skull? The 22 bones that are in your skull. There are 8 large flat bones and 14 facial bones. Have you ever wondered that our skull is made of 22 bones? Well, I'm about to introduce you to 2 bones that form the skull. There are 8 large flat bones. These bones form the cranium that protects the brain. As you can see, this white dome is the cranium. It is made of 8 large flat bones. Then we have a jaw bones and the structure of the face, the eye socket, the nose socket. The jawbone is made of mandibles. Then the face is made of facial bones. What is the backbone of your body? Did you know that the backbone has a second name? The second name is the spine. What is the location of the backbone? In the back of the body. Every human has to have a backbone. If not, they cannot survive, neither can they do their duties without any issues. Every human has to rely on their backbone function, or known as the spine. The backbone is also the supporter of the cranium. The cranium is the white dome on top of our skull that protects the brain. Now, how is the backbone protecting the cranium? Well, the backbone right here on the top is connected to the cranium. So, what are these gaps here, you're probably wondering? There is cartilage in between every irregular bone. These bones in between have cartilage. Cartilage is a very rubbery material that uses a rubber tree. Now, there are 5 categories in the backbone that the backbone is distributed into. Let's put a hold on and we'll discuss this in the future slides. The 5 categories of the backbone. The 7 bones are in the cervical vertebrae. As you can see here, the cervical vertebrae is the first category of the backbone. Next, this cervical vertebrae is made of 7 bones. Next, the thoracic vertebrae is made of 12 bones. The lumbar vertebrae is made of 5 bones. The sacrum is beneath the backbone, which is made of 5 fused bones. When I mean by fused, they're mixed together. And the coccyx is made of 4 fused bones. All together, when you add all them, you will get 33. Now, without these bones, no human can survive, right? Now, without each of this cartilage, none of the humans can survive. Because if the cartilage helps them to bend, if not, they will have to stand for the rest of their life. Now, the sacrum and coccyx do not have a cartilage because they don't need to move around or bend around. What is the rib cage? In my first video, we have been discussing what the lungs are and the rib cage. By the way, in the description below, I have provided a link to my first video. If you want to learn more about lungs, be sure to read through my video and look through it. The ribcage is the protector of the lungs and the heart, which we have talked about in my first video. There are 3 categories of bones in the ribcage that we will be discussing in the future slides. Now, the ribcage is located in our chest. How do we know that? Well, when you feel your chest, you feel some bumps, right? They are kind of like bones. That is, my friend, the rib cage. The rib cage is also attached to the backbone. Now, how do we know that? When you're pressing your rib cage to your backbone, they are attached. So when you're pushing each other, they don't really break. The rib cage is above the stomach. Now, the rib cage is in your chest, right? The stomach is below the chest. The 3 categories of the rib cage. Remember, I was talking earlier about learning the 3 categories. Now we're about to learn each of the 3 categories. Now, you see this diagram over here? This is made of 12 pairs of ribs. The beginning 7 are called true ribs. As you can see, this diagram shows it clearly. Now, there is 3 middle pairs of ribs called false ribs. First, there is true ribs and false ribs. Now, there are 2 more still. Those are called floating ribs. Now, you may think that, whoa, this is a very big diagram. Well, it's not really that big. If you just look at it, if you count each one, you will get 12. Now, just wanted to tell you, some humans don't have this many. Some even have 15 or 13. What are the bones that are in your arm? You see this diagram? This shows clearly what the arm looks like. You see this big yellow arm? That is the humerus. It is the longest bone in your arm. This is called a humerus. Connected to the humerus is the ulna. Now, right next to the ulna is the radius. Now, you might think, why is there a gap? Is there anything between them? Yes, there is. There is muscle beneath them and between them. The humerus and ulna join to create the elbow joint right here. Note I wanted to inform you is that these bones are the same for the other hand also. What are the bones in your leg? First, you see this big leg or bone. This is known as the thigh. Now, you see this big yellow ball. This is called a patella. This protects the knee joint like the job of the knee pad. Let's think for a moment. Why do we use a knee pad? We use a knee pad to cover our knee and protect it, right? The job of the patella is to protect the knee joint. So same to same basically. And the tibia is connected to the femur right behind the patella. You can see here that there's this yellow stick. That, my friend, is the tibia. Now, the fibula is very big and it's right next to the tibia. A note I wanted to inform you is that these bones are the same for the other leg also. What are the bones in the foot? Now remember that there are 26 bones in each foot. The beginning 7 bones are called tarsal bones. The largest one is the heel bone, which is located right here, about here. There are 5 metatarsal bones in your instep, which is around. Now there are 5 phalanges in your toes. But all toes have 3 phalanges except the big toe because it only has 2. As you can see, there are 3 phalanges in each toe except the big one because it only has 2 big ones. Some good habits I prefer to be followed to keep your skeletal system conductive. Don't smoke and don't drink excessively. For the ones who have seen my videos, you're probably wondering why does he always say don't smoke, don't drink? Because it will damage your organs and damage your muscles and your bones. What do I mean by eat lots of vegetables? Now, vegetables contain a lot of vitamins, vitamin E, vitamin B, and etc. Now, the liver categorizes them, right? The nutrients are then sent to the bones, right? Where they get the energy. Then, if you have a lot of energy, you can do tasks very easily. Okay, work out every day. I say work out every day because it will build your muscles and your bones will grow stronger and stronger. Eat high fiber food. Well, high fiber means there are a lot of nutrients, right? When you eat a lot of high fiber food, you get a lot of nutrients which get much energy. Fun facts about the skeletal system. Did you know that the smallest bone in your body is in your ear? Let's think about this one. There in your ear, there are bones, right? When you see a skeleton, there are holes. That is where the ears are. That's why there is a bone here. That is the smallest bone. Bones are made for a beating. What do I mean by this? When bones are being hit, some bones break and some don't. The bones that don't break are said that the bones are made for a beating. Take an example. Say like a dinosaur bone. You found a T-Rex bone. Now when you hit with a hammer, tiny hammer, start with a tiny hammer. When you hit it, it doesn't work, right? But with like a bulldozer or like a wrecking ball, you can easily get it. You can easily break it. But some can even not break with even a wrecking ball. Now, most people have 12 ribs, but some have 13. Remember, I was previously talking about how people can have more ribs? Here comes. So think about it. There are 2 floating ribs in 12. Then in 13 there are 3 floating ribs. So they have more. Bones are very strong, but teeth are stronger. Some strong people have very strong teeth that they can break bones easily. Like little kids, that is very bullying, but they cannot break like T-Rex bones. And thank you for watching my video, and be sure to subscribe and like my channel. And if you have any questions, please comment them below. And be sure to watch the videos I provided links to.